right. You take care, Bradley, and have a Merry Christmas. I'm sure we'll talk between now and then, but it's great hearing you on the net tonight. Let's go to N8ERV and then stand by YTD.
Well, good evening to everybody on the net. It is exactly 28.6 degrees in Yale tonight. How about that? A flake or two of snow coming down. I'll gladly donate that to anybody that wants it. Interesting topic, Rusty. First of all, I think the best gift that I've ever received, I bought it myself, is the ICOM 9700. What can I say? The payments are reminding me of it anyway, but the best gift I ever give, I have a real close dear friend in Port Huron who's also a ham radio operator that's into fixing all these old holocrafted receivers and stuff, and he was got a solder station that, solder gun, pencil gun, and he had the old Radio Shack, push the button and suck up solder thing. So I got him a complete solder station, not a hot air, but a solder station with a solder sucker, and then had that shipped to him. So I knew that was something he could use, but he really likes it. It saves you a whole bunch of time. So that's my incoming and outgoing, I guess. Hope everything's going okay. And good evening to everybody on the net, and Merry Christmas and all that kind of rot. I'm kind of a bah humbug guy the last few years. I think Christmas is more or less for the little kids, to see them open their eyes and like all this stuff under the tree. And Dad used to have a real big Christmas tree downstairs, but with me and my brother, we had this wild idea that in the middle of the night we were going to sneak downstairs, look under the tree, and see how many presents we got. But he got wise. He started putting a card table at the base of the stairs that you couldn't see in the dark, and as soon as we fumbled it and made noise, he'd say, "You guys go back to bed." Anyway, that's my story, and I'm kind of sticking to it. WBAVOW, you have a good... I think there's a Red Wings game on tonight, too. N8ERV.
All right. Good to hear you, Tom. N8ERV, WBAVOW. Well, let me challenge you, because I think Greg really hit on something. He told me he was doing CGS, and he's just looking for kids in the neighborhood that, if he found that they had a certain interest, like this little gal that's been helping him exercise his dog, she had a old skateboard. He bought her a new skateboard, and I'll tell you what, I think that's the secret of Christmas, is when you're giving stuff and you're giving good gifts to maybe people who don't expect it at all. It's just a surprise, and a surprise of joy. You're going to get a lot of joy out of it, too. So, hey, it's not too late. Get at it, Scrooge. You know what happened to him. You don't want those kind of dreams. All right. We'll break with ERV at 21 and go to 22. KB8YTD. That's Jerry. Number 563. And then stand by Don. 88II, but go ahead and pick it up, Jerry. How you doing?
All right, well, thanks, Rusty. WBABOW in the group, KB8YTD. Yeah, I'm going to have to line with Tom. He kind of stole my thunder a little bit. My greatest gift is me buying all this fine radio equipment in front of me here. When I retired in 2018, I had a 30-year-old setup here, and I decided, hey, it's time to upgrade and get into the 21st century. So we started buying us some radios and tuners and new antennas and so forth like that there. So the whole station is basically all redone in the last 3 to 4 years. I try to get myself something every Christmas to help rebuild it there. So yeah, I've always pretty much bought myself whatever I want for a Christmas gift, guitars, amplifiers, whatever the case may be there. So I try to get a big ticket item for myself at the end of the year. So I'm always a good boy. So you know how that goes. All right. And then the greatest gift I ever got, it always sticks in my mind, is, we were hosting Christmas Eve, and so we had the whole family over here, and had a bunch of young nieces and nephews around. And I had my old TS 520 SE at the time there, and I thought to myself, hey, that Santa net's going. I'm going to get these kids on the radio and talking to Santa. So I turns on the radio and fires it up, and the kids all gathered around, and I put out a call for Santa, and boy, he came back, and boy, each kid took their turn talking to him, giving them lists and everything, and they just took that hook, line, and sinker, and they had so much joy in their eyes. I will always remember that. That was a great time for me. I think that was one of the greatest gifts I could ever give. So, yeah, that was pretty cool there. So that's about all we got on this end here. So we'll turn it back to you, Rusty. Good job as always. This is KB8YTD. Back to net.
All right, KB8YTD, WB8VOW. Well, man, those were great stories. I appreciate those. And, yeah, I totally understand the, it's always fun to get a new piece of ham gear. That's all there is to it. And my wife complains a little bit just because it's hard for her to buy me things. I have to kind of specify them. Yeah, let's see. She got me a POTA book this year for my birthday. So this was only, I'm one of these guys who got a birthday 2 weeks before Christmas. And what else did she get me? It was really good though. It's always hard because she's got to kind of watch and figure it out. And it's not like a normal person, but you're like me. You got guitars and the amateur radio, and none of that stuff's cheap. All right, let's break with you and go to 88II Don over there in Marcellus, Michigan, number 626. And we'll see if Maury stayed awake. I kind of told him I would try to put him to sleep, but we'll be going to private first class Maury, WB8PFC next. But go ahead, Don. How are you tonight? Alpha Delta 8II, you're up.
He said in the instant message that he was leaving.
Well, in that case, I will not give him the green stripe of shame since he said that. Thanks, Doris. I do need to pay attention to that once in a while. How about WB8PFC? Maury, are you with us? Well, we're about 20 miles away from each other, so I assume he's not. WB8PFC, one more time.
Maury, wake up!
Nah, I'm pretty sure he'd be up if he heard me, because we're pretty close. All right, we'll give him the green stripe of shame. I have no problem with that with Maury. Let's go pick up Bill. KC9MDS, number 644, over in Portage, Portage, Indiana. Portage, Indiana. And then stand by my third Georgia of the night, AC9XN. Go ahead and pick it up there, Bill.
WB8VOW and the group. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Mike Delta Sierra. My dog Stutters, our most distinctive station, whatever you want to use any euphemism you can think of, and with that, or acronym with those initials. At any rate, hey, top of the evening to you. Best gift I ever gave. Gosh, I was just too busy working. I think the ex-wife took care of all that. I had daughters, so, and I like buying noise toys, but the best one I ever got was from an uncle that taught me to be, or led me into electricity, as it were, as an avocation, and that was an RCA vacuum tube voltmeter in a parts kit, almost like old Heathkit stuff, and I successfully put that together, and I think I was about 11, somewhere in that neighborhood. A lot of fun. That being said, hey, thanks for picking us up, Rusty. You're doing a great job. Loud. You are very loud this evening. Good signal. So is everybody else. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if I don't get back on here before that time comes about. Thanks for picking us up. Always a pleasure and a privilege, Rusty. WB8VOW, KC9MDS, Bill down here in Portage, Indiana.
Portage. KC9MDS, WB8VOW. Well, hey, you're almost 40 over. You were blowing by 30 over and sounded good, Bill. And yeah, isn't that great? It gave you a kit that you could build, and then what was one of the first things you measured? Oh, you had to plug it into the wall outlet and see the voltage. That could make a mom a little nervous, but what a great gift. And yeah, it's just amazing how some of those turn into careers. And he probably never really thought about it, but that's awesome. All right, let's go pick up George, AC9XN, over in Highland, Indiana, member number 593. And then stand by KB8PRU. George, how you doing tonight?
Okay there. Whiskey Bravo 8. Voice of the Wolverines. Trusty Rusty in the big chair and station of the year 2022. This is Alpha Charlie 9 X-Ray November. The voice of Highland, Indiana, where every day is a wonderful day and there's always something exciting going on. Net Control Extraordinaire, thank you for taking my call tonight. You're doing a fabulous job as always. We had a beautiful day here today in Highland, Indiana. It got up to a balmy 33 degrees. It's currently right around 30, and it's probably going to go down to around 16, but we got a south wind, so if we don't get that north wind down off Lake Michigan, it's usually not too bad. And we didn't get much snow, but I saw on the weather a little bit of snow up your way. So hopefully you guys will get a nice, merry white Christmas. And I hope everyone on the Wolverine Net has the most fabulous holiday they ever had. And I'm wishing everyone a healthy and especially healthy and a prosperous 2024. I have had many wonderful gifts in my life, but I'm thinking particularly one year when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. My aunt gave me a pair of Huron boots and twin golden 6-shooters and a Roy Rogers hat, and man, I was all set. Man, it was beautiful. Hop-along boots and pistols that shoot. Man, oh man. And then, of course, a couple of years later, she gave me a Remco transistor radio. It was a little plastic one transistor radio with a little ferrite coil, and you put up a long wire, and if you listen real good, it might work. Thank you for getting me in, buddy. As always, great topic, great net. You got a great list. Alpha Charlie 9 X-Ray November 73, and God bless the Wolverines.
All right, George. Well, hey, thank you so much for being a part of our net tonight. You know, I get excited when I get 3 George nights, and, you know, this will be a 3 George night, so, boy. I love that. Oh, and, yeah, I can just see you with those 6-shooters. That's pretty awesome. The boots, the guns. Oh, man. Oh, that's perfect. Radio as well. That's really, really cool. All right. Let's break with you and pick up Charles, KB8PRU. Over in St. Helens, Michigan. Thanks for bearing with me while I got your call sign straightened around. Come on in and tell us what's going on there, Charles, and stand by my brother from another mother, Neil, will coming down to Indy next. KB8PRU. Charles, to the microphone, please. We're getting in the festive mood here as we award these. Hey, you know, I'm going to have to come up with something. You know, the not requesting gives me the green stripe of shame. I got to figure out something that'll put a little red on there. So Taz will have appropriately decorated log when we're all done. But I'll have to think about that. K9CTB. Neil, go ahead and pick it up. Hope you and Marty are having a good night. And then stand by. Harold will come into Rock Island, and I'll bet I'll be able to hear you this time. But first, let's pick up Neil.
Good evening, Rusty. WB8VOW, my brother, and the rest of the Wolverines, non-Wolverines, anybody happen to be listening with some old receiver somewhere, it's K9CTB. It's Neil here in Indy, and we are both here in the radio room, Rusty, enjoying your jolly voice, man. I think that does so much for the net, Rusty. Good to hear you. Oh, yeah, I need to keep this short, too, but I need to apologize to Miss Doris. Man, I hate when I stomp on somebody during the pre-net like I did. Rusty, my apologies. Let's see. Best gift given and received. Well, it would go without saying, naturally, our son is at the top of the list. Yeah, nothing gets better than that. But what we used to do, Rusty, we sometimes get each other small gifts and whatnot. But what we decided to do, Marty and I, was to Christmas for us is more about we give stuff to others. And that really makes us feel great. I mean, better than when we used to give each other little trinkets or whatnot. And one of the things we love to do is volunteer at the animal rescue shelters, wherever we've been. And of course, when we were in Columbus, we volunteered down there so that the staff, the paid staff, could actually take off. And it turns out we volunteered for Christmas, I think, the day after. Several years ago, Christmas Eve and Christmas, and it turns out that a lot of volunteers showed up at the same time, which was great. We had a good time. I cleaned a lot of dog cages. Marty and company did a lot of laundry, and I got to walk some dogs. Some were antisocial. They didn't mind me, though. And that was a really, really good gift, Rusty. A lot of the staff got to take off and enjoy the holiday, but the best gift received was simultaneous with that. Rusty, we adopted a dog. She's not with us, of course, now, but she was a Rottweiler mixed with a Chow, if you can imagine that. But she was a heartworm patient. And we wanted to adopt her so she'd have at least a comfortable end of life. Well, it turns out that we took her down to a veterinarian who would treat her. We got her all signed up, put in the hospital gown, what have you, and the veterinarian team really did a good job. Treated her. I think there was 2 rounds involved of whatever drug they give for that. And we went down to pick her up. Now, this was in Columbus, Indiana. Went down to pick her up, and the bill had been paid by the rest of the volunteers that were with us. And the story doesn't really end there. We took her home, and she lived with us for 12 years after that. So she must have been about 2 years old when we adopted her. So best gift given, best gift received, both within 3 or 4 days of each other. Rusty, thank you so much for having me aboard. God bless the gang, and just awesome to be here as usual. WB8VOW and wonderful company, K9CTB and Sidekick. Indy.
All right, you and Marty have a blessed Christmas if we don't talk. And wow, what a cool gift! Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is, "I only want to be the person my dog thinks I am." Because we had a little poodle, and he thought the world of me. If I could be that good, oh my gosh! There's nothing like the questioning. The dogs just give love freely. That's all there is to it. So what a great story. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate you sharing with us, and cool stuff on doing the volunteer work as well. Hey, let's take a quick break before we pick up Harold in Rock Island. Let's take a quick break and see if anybody else wants to get on the list here. We're working our way through it. This is WB8VOW and the wonderful Wolverine single sideband net.
Comment Whiskey Delta 8, Papa India Charlie, WD8PIC.
KEHGLB.
Kilo Charlie 8, Foxtrot Charlie Quebec.
Okay, there were a few of them. I could barely hear Bob, but I did pick him up there. WD8PIC at 48, and KC8, I think it's FCQ at 49. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, won't be too long till we get down to you here. We're moving along. Other stations, come now.
Echo 8, Golf, Lima Bravo, Chavis, KEHGLB.
1 India Kilo.
RNA had a comment.
I'm sorry, who had RMN had a comment?
KD9RA had a comment, but go ahead and pick up your stations there.
Okay, let me get the rest of them, and we'll come back to you there, Eric. Okay, who else is out there? I got W1IK, I got KE8, GLB, FCQ, and PIC. Who else?
Kilo Romeo 8 Uniform.
KR8U got you in at 52. Anybody else?
Papa Echo Tango, in and out.
Merry Christmas, my good friend. Stay out of trouble, if that's possible.
Just remember, the song never ends, Rusty.
Oh, you're a bad man. All right, anybody else before we get back to work? I hear voices in my head. One more time.
November 8, Hotel, India, Sierra.
All right, Pete, got you. N8HIS at 54. Anybody else? All right, we're going to have to pick up the pace here. We got less than an hour to get through this list. All right, let's go pick up Harold. KC9IVO over in Rock Island, number 368, one of our pioneers, and standby TYO. Harold, how you doing tonight?
All right, yeah, we're doing great tonight. Thanks for hosting and interesting comments out there. People are really coming in good here to Rock Island at this time of the night. They'll get better as the night goes on, even so. We'll be listening along anyway. Hello to everybody. Hello, man, oh man, 33 degrees. 33 degrees started out at 17. So I think that's the heat wave. Anyway, I was hoping to get warmer than that. Most of the really heavy wind we had yesterday has died down, and we get some gusts of it every once in a while. So the sun was shining bright most of the day there, so it looked pretty nice out there, but it wasn't. We had an appointment to go to early in the morning, about 9 o'clock. That's early for me, boy, oh boy. And it wasn't really all that bad there. And as we go into the week, we're going to start warming up pretty good till we get to the weekend. We should be somewhere along the week here, start getting into the mid-40s and close to 50 and right at 50 for the weekend. It depends on how much the sun shines. We'll have a problem with that on Saturday and Sunday because it's supposed to rain instead of be white stuff. I'm okay with that. I spent a lot of years with white Christmases that were, hey, we can't go anywhere because the car is stuck in the driveway or something like that. But yeah, really bad roads and trying to celebrate New Year's and end up at somebody's house and we have to spend the night because we done got snowed in here and we shouldn't have been driving anyway. So this will be a nice easy cakewalk. But I'm getting ready to celebrate my 72nd Christmas. So I've been doing it for a few years, and I absolutely have to say I can't remember one thing that stood out in my mind as being the best, except for every one of them. I enjoyed every one of them.
Nothing befell our family as far as somebody passing away close to a holiday and dampening the spirits. Everybody rolled in and out of the holidays in high spirits, and everybody gave the gift of giving and celebrated the reason for the season with lots of cheer in their hearts. So I feel it's going to be this way this year, it seems like, unless I kick the bucket. I won't know how bad everybody else will feel, but I know we don't have anybody on the list that could become the curse. Accidents do happen, but looking forward to a very, very occasion again, as I have, I turned 72 in November the 6th, so we roll in and out of this Christmas and get on down the line, and I'm sure we'll enjoy this one as much as I did all the rest of them. Actually, that's kind of the report from Rock Island. We're going to goof off here in the radio room most of the evening here. I don't think I've got anywhere to go tomorrow, so if the temperature starts to, I think it's supposed to be in the mid-40s, the windows come out there. I got to go out in the garage and scrounge me up a couple pieces of wire there, what I got laying around. If not, I'll try to finally go to Menards or something. Buy me a small roll. I got a feed line run out there, a twin lead feed line, twin lead feed lines run out and connected in the house on two different tuners, one for each of the feed lines. So I want to make it an 11 meter and a 40 meter and a 10 meter dipole. So I got the feed lines running, whatnot. Got the hard part done, just getting a couple pieces of wire and sticking them on there, tuning them up. That shouldn't be too hard at all. I'm not going to put them up very high, just need something to listen on. So that's kind of the report from Rock Island. Appreciate all the comments that you're doing in that there. Rusty doing a wonderful job. Sounding great. Well, thanks, everybody. Catch you guys a little later down the road. Everybody have a great evening. KC9IVO over.
All right, KC9YVO, IVO, WB8VOW. Well, good stuff there, Harold. Harold. And good luck finding your wire there. I agree. I marvel at the temperatures right now. I don't remember a winter like this. And I always wonder how it's going to balance out in January and February. We'll see how that goes. Let's go to KD9TYO, James up there in Plover, Wisconsin, and then stand by TYC, Mike and Celine. So go ahead and pick her up there, Jim.
Yes, KD9TYO, we're here over in Central Sands, and it's an interesting topic tonight. I had to think about this for a while, and I remembered in the days before the internet, the Sears catalog was my favorite point of inspiration for gifts that I would like to ask for. And I asked my folks at that time, I was about my sophomore year in high school, and I asked them for a power drill. And they bought that kit for me, and I had kept that drill, and I had finally wore it out so badly. But it really got me started off in a lot of different directions where I ended up to this day with my woodworking. And speaking of that, the best gift I ever gave was a coaster wagon I made out of wood for my kids when they were growing up. And they used the heck out of that thing until they outgrew it. But boy, oh boy, it was the toast of the neighborhood when the other kids looked at that. And the guy said, "Don't you buy anything?" I said, "No, I can make it. Why not?" So other than that, that's kind of my whole story right there, Rusty. So this is KD9TYO.
All right, KD9TYO, WB8VOW. Well, hey, man, it's always great when you can make your own and do your own. So good on you, brother. And thanks for being a part of our net tonight. Boy, the signal just is picking up. We got a pipeline going to Wisconsin right now, so that's awesome. All right, let's turn north to Michigan. KE8TYC up there in Saline. Boy, that's about 30 miles north of me. And then stand by NED, but go ahead and take it there, Mike. KE8TYC, your turn at the microphone. right, KE8NED. Good. Let's pick up Mark over there in Canton, 567, number 33 on our list tonight, and standby TIM. Pick her up there, Mark.
WB8VOW in the net. This is KE8NED. Good evening. Hey, Rusty, thanks for doing the net. Nice job tonight. Yeah, really good signals coming through. Kind of running back and forth. I've got the grandkids over, so I'm trying to, keep the house from burning down and such. But in terms of the best gift, geez, I mean, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. Some of them quite profound. But certainly I'm enjoying the grandkids like I never thought was possible. So I'll serve that one up and pass it back to you, Rusty. This is KE8NED. Good evening.
Mark, that's a good way out, man. You can't go wrong there, that's for sure. So, and oh man, appreciate you being on the net. Appreciate you being on the text. Having a good time on text too. Let's roll on down and pick up W2TIM, and then stand by. We'll go. We're gonna get things moving at the speed of caffeine here. We're gonna be going to FCC next. But Tim, go ahead and pick it up. How's things out at Brockport, New York?
WB8VOW is W2TIM, Tim in Brockport, New York. Things are going well here. It's about 29 degrees. We got some snow, but we're looking to hit 50 by Christmas, so all this stuff will be gone by then.